The following is a recording of a live event we ran recently on streaming video in our Facebook group where people were able to hop on and ask questions about Thinkific and online courses. It went over quite well, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. There was a lot of really interesting questions asked. Hope you enjoyed the event. Thanks.
Let's see, Darren asking, what's the biggest mistake people make in launching new courses? The biggest one that I really see is, Darren, is worrying a little bit too much about things getting started. So you definitely can obsess, and in the worst case, I saw someone spend a year after they'd actually scripted the course, shot the course, gotten the videos. We actually edited some videos for them and sent them back to them. And they spent about a year sort of humming and hawing about making subtle changes to everything without even launching. So the biggest mistake I see people make is just waiting too long on everything and worrying too much about every little detail. I find it much better to just get out there, put something out there, and get response back. And if you look to Danny Inney and his book Teach and Grow Rich, he really talks a lot about the pilot course, and essentially you get to a program that's 2 or 3 hours together. You recognize that it's a pilot program. You sell it as a pilot program to people. You do sell it, so you make sure you're charging people to get in so that you know that they do value it. And then you just ask for their feedback throughout the program, and they get to help craft that course with you. They're super accepting of the fact that it's a pilot program, and it allows you to kind of get that stuff out a lot faster. I see Jerry asking, what was that book again? It's Teach and Grow Rich. You can grab it, I think, a Kindle version for just a few dollars on Amazon. I see Yolanda, can you host a YouTube Live on Thinkific? You can actually, I've done it. You can embed YouTube Live right into Thinkific, although as we've seen here today, there might be some technical issues. You can also embed Zoom, which is what we're using right now, and I find the bandwidth and the issues with that are much better. So you could do an embedded Zoom that way too. So you might try the Zoom over the YouTube Live, but you can do either and embed that right into Thinkific. And you can do that in the multimedia item for Zoom, and for YouTube Live, I believe you can do that in the text item as well. Let's see, I see someone saying, can you give some tips on converting viewers into purchasers? Is there a problem converting people that can be the reason? Price, prefer learning in person? How can we tweak the course to increase conversions? That's a great question. There's a variety of ways that you can do this. Tons of good stuff in Teach Online TV. So that's our YouTube channel, the Thinkific YouTube channel. Recently, we've been talking a lot about this, and then also on our blog. But just to give you some ideas right here, one thing that we're actually experimenting with that I think could be really good if you have people coming in and checking things out, but not necessarily purchasing, depending on the volume of people you have, or even if you have a huge volume, is send out personal welcome videos. So just record a quick 1-minute video, shoot it out to them, welcoming them, asking if they have any questions, offering your help. If you're getting some people coming and checking it out, but they're not signing up and purchasing, and you send out that really personalized welcome video, and it really, like, don't obsess over it. Just take 1 minute to record it and 2 minutes to publish it and send it out, fire it off to them. And I think the feedback you'll get will be amazing, and probably an increase in your conversion rates. Another thing is just making sure that you have a good follow-up of emails. So if people sign up or give you their email through something like a free trial, make sure that you're following up with them with email to convert them into someone who's actually signing up for the full course. I see, what are the best ways to market online courses? Let's see, what are the best ways to market online courses? Are there specific demographics of people that do and do not like learning online? Where can you find them? Obviously within your particular subject. So a couple of questions there. In terms of ways to market online courses, tons and tons of different options. We actually had a really good post recently that I can share with you, the 55 ways to market your online courses. And that just gives you a high level look at a whole bunch of different ways. One, if you're just starting out, that I really suggest trying is Quora. That's Quora.com. And you can actually hop in there. It's a Q&A site, so you can find people who are interested in your specific topic. You can answer their questions. You want to make sure you give value to it. And then you can mention your online course from there. So that's a really easy, free marketing channel where you can just share information. You don't need any technical expertise to do it. And you can actually search for questions that relate to your subject area. So that's where someone is going. They're looking for an answer. They're asking a question. Those kind of people would be interested in taking that next step and trying out that course. Another great channel is YouTube. It does take a little bit more work because you have to go and uh, videos for YouTube. If you're a great guy to follow on YouTube and to find out about how to make YouTube videos, definitely worth checking him out in terms of how to get out there and build an audience on YouTube and actually convert that to courses as well. But then for other marketing resources, check out blog.thinkific.com or try Teach Online TV. That's our Thinkific YouTube channel. I see Roderick is the perfect formula or format to load videos. I'm using ScreenFlow, and I noticed that showed loading or encoding when I was trying to view. So if you're looking at sort of export formats, shoot us a note and we can send you a list of ideal export formats. But basically anything that's 16:9, so that's your 720p or your 1080p. You can, pretty much any kind of video format that you export will work in Thinkific. But the ideals, I think for web delivery, 720p is kind of your ideal delivery. But we actually process it and encode it into multiple formats for delivery across different devices and internet speeds. So it kind of depends on, so you really don't need to worry too much about that. So most of the basic encoding options will work just fine. Let's see, with GoDaddy, I made my URL look like it goes to my website. However, sometimes not always. There's a warning that the developer has not used HTTPS correctly. Site might be dangerous to security. Is that something I take up with Thinkific or GoDaddy? Is it something about my local service? That's actually what's going on there is you probably got an HTTPS, which is a secure site, going to an HTTP site. And so Google will do a notification when you're switching between the two. We can help you sort that out. It's a pretty easy fix. So just shoot us a note at customers@thinkific.com and they can help you with that. Hi, Michael. I see Michael saying, you might want to remind people that Zoom works great, but it's highly dependent on having quality bandwidth. Have my MacBook hardwired to my router and recommend my viewers do the same. True. Yeah. Anytime you're doing kind of live streaming like this, as we saw earlier with YouTube Live, bandwidth will be a bit of an issue. So you do want to make sure that you have decent bandwidth. What we did here is I just asked some of the other people in the office to tone down their bandwidth usage so they're not watching a bunch of videos while we're doing this. Plugging directly into your router is a good way to go as well, so you're not even using Wi-Fi, that kind of thing. So yeah, definitely make sure and do a little bit. The big thing you can do is just do a little bit of testing with a friend. The nice thing about things like Zoom is if you're streaming to one person or hundreds of people, it doesn't matter in terms of your bandwidth, as long as they have decent bandwidth. I see Yolanda asking if you can import courses from other platforms. Yeah, you can. There's no sort of easy one-click import button. Usually those easy one-click import buttons will violate terms of use of other providers. But we do have the bulk import, so it's pretty easy to drag and drop a bunch of content in. And then if you need help beyond that, you can always message us and we can help you come up with some creative ways to bring content over. I see Michael saying any technical or business reason can't get discount coupons for a course subscription. That's something we're working on. There are some sort of both technical and business reasons, and figuring out whether you want to do a coupon on the first month or you want to do a coupon on an ongoing subscription. If you want to do a coupon on an ongoing subscription, there actually are some workarounds for doing that. Basically, you just set up another subscription plan and at the discounted rate and get people subscribed to that. And there's even workarounds for sort of a one-time discount, although it won't be applied immediately, so it doesn't work ideally. But we're looking into some ways of improving discounts on monthly subscriptions, Michael. Let's see. Are you working on a Facebook page where we can let other instructors know what we teach? Yes, I saw your comment in Facebook. Sorry, I hadn't had a chance to get back to you yet. I took some time this weekend to do a bit of gardening and spend it with my family, so I didn't get a chance to hop into the Facebook group as much. But yeah, I think we do need to set up a kind of VIP group of instructors where we can share information. The Facebook group works really well for it, but I think you're looking for something a little bit different in terms of sharing, what we're teaching. We definitely can get something like that set up. So maybe we'll bounce that around this week here and see what we can come up with as to a best way to do that. I see Roderick, I want to make my website the main thing, lead capture and welcome video. Can I place a welcome video and lead capture for visitors on my main page of Thinkific that did not actually sign up? Yeah, so I mean, with our themes, you can do pretty much anything you want. So if you have one course, it's actually really easy to put a video. You just go into the course settings, turn on your demo video. And then in terms of capturing emails for people who didn't sign up, I would turn on a free trial. That's probably the easiest way to do it. If you have many courses, then you probably want to add something else to your site. Actually, for lead captures, You can embed a video on your main page. That's pretty easy to do. But then on top of that, what I'd suggest you do is actually integrate with SumoMe. So if you go into the integrations tab, you can integrate with SumoMe, and that actually gives you the ability to have pop-ups, welcome mats, exit intent. So someone goes to exit your site, it'll actually drop up a lead capture and ask them for their email. You can give them something in exchange for it, a downloadable ebook, something like that. The other thing you can do is even create a free course that is something like an ebook or a couple of free videos and get people signing up for that. I found, in terms of lead capture, free course, free trial, that kind of stuff works really well. And in, so in terms of tools to do that, you can use Thinkific to create, or you can use something like SumoMe, which is just a couple of quick clicks to embed it and do that right within Thinkific. Let's see. Okay, so Treb asks, 720p doesn't work if you're demoing application screens as the text is unreadable. So, okay, so if you're doing a screen capture of a software application with really tiny font, then, oh, I see people are asking me to slow down. All right. I can be a bit of a fast talker. Let's see if we can slow down a bit here. I'm just trying to get through everybody's questions. Okay. 720p, if you're recording a screen that has really small text on it, yeah, that might be a bit of a problem. You can go to 1080, you can go to 1920, you can go to 4K, go as big as you need to, and you can upload that to Thinkific, and we will support the larger video sizes. So you can definitely go up higher on in terms of the video you want. So that's really up to you and what works best for your application. Most video where you're just shooting heads or larger fonts and text and images, 720p is going to work great. So I see someone saying they use Vimeo for their videos. Is there any problem with Vimeo versus YouTube? I guess there's a couple of ways of looking at it. If you're using Vimeo or YouTube in your online courses, that's okay. Thinkific actually your videos for you, so you don't need to use Vimeo or YouTube. If you want to use them, that's fine. If you're using Vimeo for marketing purposes, I don't like it as much as YouTube. I have a Vimeo channel. I have multiple YouTube channels. I like YouTube for marketing better because it is jacked right into Google. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world next to Google. So if you get your videos into YouTube and you do a good job of getting them in there and blasting them out, and again, I'd check out Steve Dotto on YouTube. Dotto Tech, I think, is his channel. Really good advice and tips on working with YouTube and getting seen there. You'll have far more exposure and coverage from your YouTube channels. I've run YouTube channels and Vimeo channels in parallel and generated thousands in revenue from my YouTube channels driving to an online course, and nothing from the Vimeo side because Vimeo just doesn't have that same community and search. People go to YouTube searching and looking to learn, so that's a great place to start putting videos. So let's see, Fran says, do you have an oversee the course before it's posted? I think so. You're looking for, I think, some way of doing draft courses. So one thing you can do is yeah, you can actually preview your course before it goes live. So in the top right hand corner, you just click on preview. I don't know if we're doing the which is your top right hand corner, but in the top right hand corner you can click on preview course as a student and you can see what it looks like. So that's easy to do, and we're actually working on some more things for draft content if you're adding course content to a live course, so you can preview it without anyone else seeing it, and that should actually be up in the next week. I see Sarah saying, do you have a database of instructional designers that could check my course and edit, optimize? So we don't have a big database of instructional designers, but if you're looking for help, shoot us a note. We could, or even pop into the Facebook group. I know some good people we could definitely refer you to that could be helpful with this. Definitely some good ones in our community who would be happy to kind of take a look and even consult if you want that as well. So Facebook group's probably the best way to ask that, and I can jump in and help answer that. I'm sure there's people even on this video who'd be happy to help out with that kind of thing as well. Let's see, Jerry asking, if I start with the free version of Thinkific, will I be missing out on any important features? I'm just starting, so small groups, okay, but I'd like to know how to read tutorials and try to learn the Thinkific interface. Does everything pretty much work? Okay, so in terms of the plan versus paid plans, you can create a course, upload content, create quizzes, launch your free course, sell your course, or sorry, launch a paid course and sell it all on the free plan. There are some features that are locked only to paid plans, and you'll notice them, things like coupons, and some other features in there, things like drip schedule your content. So I recommend trying out the free plan, building your course, getting it going. It's very clear once you get in what will be locked based on a paid plan. The other thing is you just go to our pricing page and you can see the full list of features there as well in a comparison. I see someone's asking, I'm developing a webinar, 2 1-hour sessions, which will be shown by donation only, maybe $50 or whatever you want. Any problems with that? So yeah, you're offering a webinar and they're going to be shown by donation only. That's, I mean, I guess what you could, so there's a few ways you could do it. You could use just a regular webinar platform and invite them that way, but then you need that donation offer page. I'm not sure exactly how you do that. You could create a course in Thinkific with your $50 donation and link to it and take the money that way. You could put a PayPal donation button up. That could work as well, and then people can donate what they want. That's probably the easiest way, is just throw a PayPal donation in a link wherever you're doing it, and that could be before the webinar, during the webinar, after the webinar. Let's see, Lillian asks, can I customize completion certificates with Thinkific and have it delivered to students as they finish the course? That's an easy one. Yes, you can customize your certs, make them look like what you want. They will get delivered automatically when people complete the course if you've turned on the certificates for that course. JD, can a student purchase the same course multiple times and will all completions remain in their record? No, so once someone's purchased a course, unless they finish the course and it expires or you kick them out, they just purchase it once. It'd be a bit confusing if people were purchasing the same course multiple times. But if you want to do something like that, you could set an expiration date on the course, so they only get access for a month and they have to come back and purchase it again. You could do something like that. In terms of all completions remaining in their record, I don't know that it would, but you could potentially issue multiple certificates and keep track of all of the different completions that way. That might be something to shoot us a note about, and we'll see if we can help you out with that. Let's see, Michael. Hey, Michael. I use a lot of open, responsive type questions with my learners. Well, there's no wrong answer. Like in a workbook, my learners also like to be able to print out the questions and the responses for our mentoring meetings. Any plans on offering? I guess that got cut off there, but I kind of get where you're going with that, more in terms of the way that you can, oh, I'm speeding up again, sorry. So Michael's looking for more responsive type questions, open-ended questions. So you can do this with our surveys, but it doesn't let people print out their answers. So one thing you can do is insert another tool. So I really like Typeform. You can build surveys where I think people can see the responses at the end of the survey and potentially print that out. Google Docs or Google Forms actually works well for this, where I think people can fill out a Google Doc and then print it out. The other thing is you could just go simple and give them a downloadable Word document that they could fill in, or any kind of document that they could fill in and print out that way. That's a little more low tech and makes it really, really easy for people. We are also looking at some other ways of improving our general quizzing and survey engines, but that'll be a little bit, it's a big issue. It takes a while to kind of improve that. So we're doing some research on how we can make that better right now. So definitely we'll incorporate that. And I think that's something the teams are already considering, is that ability to print things out. Let's see, Trev, do you have any resources on how to effectively use Google Analytics with Thinkific? I've plugged it in, but it should be helpful to outline some key usage scenarios. Not right now. I mean, I think Google Analytics is generally, there's a lot of good information already out there on that. So I don't know if we'll put anything out about specifically using Google Analytics with Thinkific. I could look into it and see if there's some quick wins there. The other good platform for Thinkific analytics that I would try is Mixpanel. And with Mixpanel, you can integrate that with Thinkific, and you can actually get really detailed in terms of seeing how people are taking your courses, everything they're doing within it. So that's another good one to set up and try out as well. I see Steve Gillis says plenty of good instructional designers here, including him. Yeah, so hop in the Facebook group, Steve. I'm sure would be happy to help out on the instructional design side as well. I say, please comment on the marketability of an audio PDF course versus a video course. Yeah, so that's an interesting one. I think definitely the web is going the way has gone the way of video, and people definitely appreciate video. The thing is, with audio and PDF, there's nothing wrong with delivering your courses that way, if it works for people. And I'm not actually sure if you're talking, downloadable PDFs and just audio files, or if you're talking slides with audio over top of them. If you're talking slides with audio over top, that's pretty much, I would classify that pretty close to video, which I think works very, very well for people. If you're talking about just downloading a PDF and playing an audio file, that can be really useful too as well. Podcasts are very popular right now, and by having those audio files, potentially even downloadable audio files, you create something that people can take in their own time anywhere they go by downloading that. So that's another interesting way to go about it. It really depends on your audience, your subject matter, what you're looking for. Some subjects don't need video. So part of that, I would just look at talking to your audience and finding out what it is that they're looking for. Even running a pilot course. You could run a pilot course with a bit of video and a bit of audio PDF and see which people prefer. I see Leanne, how about certificates? Can we customize them and have them emailed to students after course completion? I think we already answered that one. Yes, you can definitely do all of that stuff. Can you unpublish, prevent public access to the main page until it is ready for deployment? Not referring to publishing courses, but the main default page. Okay, so there's sort of two ways to see things in Thinkific. One is each course has its own landing page, and then there's the sort of primary page for all your courses if you have multiple courses. Right now, I don't believe there's a way to unpublish that main page. If you have one course, then the main page doesn't exist. You just go to the one course. So that's one way to avoid showing that main page. But what you could do is potentially set up a test. You can export themes from one site to another. So if you wanted to do a lot of work on your theme on one site, you could actually build it out in one site, even a free account, and then when you're ready and you're happy with it, you could export it and import it into the new site or your live site. So that'd be another way to kind of do a demo that way. Let's see, Kyle, for Thinkific instructors with a lot of courses, 40 plus, are there future plans to give options for how courses under each category are displayed? Perhaps smaller course icons, or just listing our courses in each category in a list so that our users can easily see all our course offerings on one page. So they don't have to click through multiple pages to see our entire course offerings list. Thanks. Kyle, you can do that today. So with themes, you can actually go into your dashboard and where people see, or your all courses area, and you can change how those course cards appear. You can change the course cards themselves, so you could make them much smaller. You could change it so it's just a list. You could change it so there's no pagination, so that they don't have to click to the next page. If you get rid of the pagination, you might want to make some other changes because it'll be a bit slower to load. That's why we include the pagination. But you can definitely do all of those changes today in themes. And if you're, I can look to and see if we can come up with some ways. We're building some themes now, and maybe we could put some things in there that allow you to list your courses differently as well. I see someone Fran asking, do you need a drip method of content? Not entirely clear on the question, but so we do allow you to drip release your content, meaning that you can schedule the release of your content out over time. It doesn't automatically email your students when the content goes live for a variety of reasons where that can kind of go wrong for people. But you can set that up in conjunction with another system. So you could set up, say, ConvertKit or MailChimp or something like that as a mailing platform, and mail people as you want throughout the drip release of content, but you definitely can set up drip scheduled content. I see Jen asking, so to start, I start with the free option, build the course, and then I can use this page as a page on my website. That's a question. Also, can I then upgrade to a paid version? Yes. So you can start on the free plan, do what you want with it, and then when you're ready, you can upgrade, and you can build that all in. If you want to add it to your website, you can link to it. But if you want a custom URL, that is a paid feature for setting up the custom URL, Jen. Treb, what's the recommended way to sell a class subscription to a group? For example, a corporate subscription for X number of employees. That's a good question. There's a few ways to do it. If you, and we do have a lot of people who do this. So they have a corporate client and they'll sell that corporate client 5 subscriptions or 10 or 1,000 employees for it. If it depends on the number of people, there's a few ways you can do it. You can send them, you can create a special, and it also depends, I guess, on how many corporations you're working with. If it's just a lower number, you could create a special deal or a special bundle for them, sell it to them that way where they can buy with the credit card. The other thing you can do is avoid the credit card processing fees and just sell direct to them with an invoice and have them send you the check for their 10 or 100 or 1,000 employees. And then you can manually enroll them, you can bulk upload them, reach out to us for help with that. You can create a coupon code that has a certain number of uses. So those 100 employees can use it 100 times once each. And you can send that to them so that they can enroll themselves. So there's a few different ways you can do that. Maybe let us know how often you're going to be doing this and how many people you're going to be putting in, and we can help you out with the best solution for that. Let's see. Darren, what are the most unique tools, websites, software that you have used for variety and engagement? Okay, so for engagement, one of my favorite ones is Typeform in terms of creating really unique and interesting surveys. One way that I've seen it used really well is creating a survey at the start of a course. Hootsuite actually did this. I don't think they're doing it right now, but at the start of their course, they had a survey that asked how much you knew about social media. And if you were really knowledgeable, they would, at the end of this smart, logical survey, they would link you over to an advanced course. And if you weren't so knowledgeable, they'd take you to a beginner course. And then somewhere in between, they'd take you to a mid-level course. And you could even use it for what do you want to learn about. Depending on your answers to that, you might link them to a different course. So that was really an interesting, cool way of doing it. Another great way for engagement too is to set up a group. So put together a Facebook group, make it part of your course subscription, and invite people into the private Facebook group to create some more engagement in there. I see Steve asking, we'll be moving away from Discuss forums. I'd like to see something similar to Moodle type discussion forums. So Steve, I'm not the biggest fan of Discuss right now in terms of how it works with our courses. So I'm first to admit that we probably should move away from it, but a lot of people are using it. So we can't just tear it out because we'd upset a lot of people that way. So what I'd suggest, we do have our own discussion forum built in. It's not super advanced, but it's simple and easy to use, and it works for people. When you turn it on, it's actually built right into the course player, and people can start multiple threads of discussions in there. So that's something I'd at least start with checking out and trying for now. And we're actually looking in the future of kind of expanding the scope of how that works. So I do think that's really good feedback. I see, what are the presentation dimensions? It seems my page size is too large and they select next instead of scrolling down and miss data. I see. Okay. So ideally for your presentation, if you're using the presentation feature, which is slides with voiceover audio, I would keep it to a PowerPoint type page. So not the long form page, but keep it to the widescreen page. That'll work better. The other thing you can do is you could just start with a video or a note on the first slide saying, make sure you scroll down, there's more good stuff below. That's the other way you can do it if you've already created a lot of long form pages. I wouldn't go back and recreate everything. But if you're looking for the ideal size, I would do it in more the widescreen size, like you get with a basic widescreen or basic PowerPoint or Keynote slide. I see someone asking, will we have a video recording of this if we miss anything? Yes, we are recording it. You probably see the little recording icon in the corner, and we'll post that in the Facebook group afterwards. Let's see, JD saying there's still plenty of demand for text-based courses. Sure, definitely. I mean, if you're providing great information, the format doesn't necessarily matter. Well, some of the instructional designers will kill me for saying that, but yeah, nothing wrong with doing some text-based courses, providing information that way. I do think people are learning online, attention spans being what they are. It's helpful to add in, some other elements to it, but you definitely can do text-based courses as well. Let's see, Tammy, will you offer private discussions within the platform instead of Discuss, which is a public forum? Yeah, so we actually do have that right now. So if you turn on the discussions feature in a course, then it's private within that course. It doesn't go public anywhere. So you can use that right now. Can students upload and submit assignments? This is from Tammy as well. Yeah, so there's nothing built in natively to do this. I've seen people just do it by email, but you can also very easily embed Dropbox where people can submit. And I think Miranda put together a good post on this. Maybe she can share that with you guys in terms of how to actually just embed Dropbox. It makes a really eloquent way for people to upload their assignments directly to you. Let's see, is there any way to display several bundles on one landing page? I believe you can actually. So what you could do is, well, if it's a landing page for another product, you can use related or upsells to show a bunch of bundles on it. The other thing is within a page, you can go into your, say, page description, and I think you can even embed, or in your themes, you can even embed our sales widget. Or even if you're building a page on another system, you can actually embed the sales widget. So if you haven't used the sales widget, it's a great way to embed courses and bundles anywhere you want. So you can take that and drop that into other sales pages. So that's one way to do it. And the other is with upsells. So with upsells, you can just keep adding other upsells to that page for other products that you can show. Brandon, are there any plans to roll out the ability for course creators to offer discount codes for bundles that use a monthly, I'm guessing that's monthly subscription? Yeah, so as I said, if you want to do I've seen people running discounts for a monthly subscription, whether it's a bundle or a course, you can do it. The way to do it actually is just to create a duplicate bundle with all the same stuff in it and just price it at a lower level. Now that means that the discount applies every month, but you can do that, and then you can just embed the buy button for that wherever you want to put it as well. So that is something that's relatively easy to set up that applies. And if you have any questions about how to set up that up, shoot us a note, or we can show you a sample site of where someone's done that. I see Roderick asking if we can set up affiliate programs for students to market our courses. You can, so you can turn people into affiliates, and they can market the courses for you with links that they get. The other thing is we do have integrations that you can do this with. So something like Lead Dino works well. You can go into the integrations, integrate with Lead Dino, and you can turn all sorts of people into affiliates that way as well. And then they can go out and market and share your courses for you. So you can do that kind of stuff using either our affiliates or Lead Dino that way to set people up. Let's see, we spend a good deal of time writing multiple choice quiz questions. This is for Kyle. Quizlet has a great way to save time on writing multiple choice questions by allowing the user to enter quiz questions, only one correct answer. And then Quizlet automatically creates multiple choice questions for you by including the correct answer mixed with 3 incorrect answers that are actually just correct answers for other questions. Any chance this feature could be included in a future Thinkific update? So I think what you're saying is you're going to write in the correct answer and then it's going to randomly pull in others. As someone who's written thousands of multiple choice questions myself, I question the value of that, because the point to me in a good multiple choice question is that the incorrect answers are somehow relevant to this question. That might work out coincidentally where you're randomly pulling in incorrect answers, but it may not. So I would be hesitant to use that because I think it might make your questions a lot easier. That being said, I get the point, which is you're looking for an easier way to quickly generate multiple choice quiz questions. We actually have something coming out this week that's going to make it a lot easier, and it's just going to be the ability for you to build them outside of Thinkific and then bulk upload them. So that should be much easier for you as well. But I don't think we'll be randomizing new incorrect answers into questions in the near future. But again, I'd hesitate to go that route unless you have a very specific subject matter. Let's see, any limitations with CSS and HTML for fully customizing the training dashboard? I want to create more of a membership style education center. This is for Craig, where students will purchase training tracks by subscription. I want to really customize the look and feel. Yeah, so you have pretty much total freedom with HTML, CSS, and even Liquid. So with Liquid, you can go in and pull stuff from our database and choose what to display there. So if you want to just display a list of our courses, you don't have to do that manually. You can just pull the code and display that list of courses. So you can fully customize your sales pages, your dashboard, your training area, all of that kind of stuff very, very easily. Very easily, if you understand HTML and CSS, you can dive in and fully customize that stuff. So no limitations in terms of what you can do there, really. Let's see, Elaine asking, my first course is ready to publish. Can someone at Thinkific review my work before I go live with it? So Elaine, if you're on one of our paid plans or business plan, we could probably spend up time to kind of take a look at it for you. We can't necessarily look at everyone's course before it goes live, or that's all we do here all day, and we wouldn't get a chance to build you better software. That being said, if you're on, say, the business plan, we have an onboarding program where we can spend some time with you and help you with stuff. So we could probably take a look at it within that as well. Let's see, I see Glynis, are there meetup groups for Thinkific around the world? That's a great question. I actually saw someone arranging a meetup somewhere near Sydney, Australia recently. I think it was a small group, but they were doing that. I haven't, we've had some here in Vancouver, and I think I've seen a few others, so you can always start one. An online course creators meetup. Meetup.com is a great place for checking that kind of stuff out. So definitely something that you could set up. But really, I mean, with the online world, hopping into our Facebook group or even, setting up your own Zoom chat to chat with people works well as well. I do know it's great to meet people in person. And of course, if you're ever here in Vancouver, you should come by and check us out and meet the team here. I see Michael saying, I think you guys should hold a user meeting at Whistler Mountain, preferably when there's lots of snow. And he's got to leave us. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, that's a great idea. We, especially with the US dollar being so powerful right now versus the Canadian, I think every dollar you have is almost $2 here. Not quite, but pretty good like that. So it'd be a great time for lots of our US customers to come visit us here in Canada. And Whistler would be a great place to do that. Let's see. Long one here from Stephen. Using Thinkific as a platform to develop branded channels for multiple clients. Key feature is the ability to modify themes to integrate with existing or new online brands. Custom theme does not seem to allow a high level of customization within the existing framework. Let's see, does not facilitate storage of web design assets, creating new template files. Requires having a separate file for the primary content requirements. API for better integration with external. So what are the plans for providing an API? So we do have an API. The theming is actually fairly powerful in terms of what you can do with it. If you have specific questions, probably the best thing to do is just shoot us a note so we can point out things like where you can access the API to build better integrations with existing sites. And then I see you're looking for facilitating interaction with Thinkific data with a command line interface. Getting closer to the way Shopify does it is definitely on the roadmap. And getting more version control in Git and stuff like that. We're definitely not quite there yet. So reach out, share the ideas you have. We do have the API though, and we're constantly working on upgrading that theming engine and doing more integrations with with things like Sublime and other development tools, so that it'll make it easier for you. Let's see, M. King, what about cross-platform CMS integrations for user capture, such as Joomla, WordPress plugins? From Mike. I don't, we do, so we have an API, so you could do cross-platform, potentially user capture that way. I'm not sure exactly what the use case is or why you'd want to do that. But you could do something like that. We do have a variety of integrations with things like MailChimp, Aweber, Infusionsoft, so you can actually pull leads in from other platforms that way. Even with Sumomi, if you wanted to go beyond that, you could probably do something like use the API to set that kind of stuff up. But if you have a specific use case, shoot us a note. We'll do our best to help you out with it. Let's see. Is there a reason why the color red is not an option when creating headlines for our course descriptions? I did not know it was not an option. You should be able to change it to red. Probably with our at the very least with the theme engine, you should be able to change it to red. So maybe shoot us a note with where you're trying to do that, Roderick, and I'm sure we can help you get some red in there if that's what you want. We definitely don't have anything against the color red. I see Robert saying, please repeat the affiliate company name again. Audio was on and off. Hop for affiliates. We have a built-in solution, but you can also hop into integrations. And the one I was mentioning was Lead Dino, which has some really good and inexpensive affiliate options for you as well if you want to run your own program with a complete affiliate system. But you can find that in the integration sections. Okay. Is the demand for spoken webinar type classes, do people have an interest in classes that are primarily, is there demand? I see this is from Glynis. Demand for spoken webinar type classes. So I think you mean live, and is there, or maybe recorded video. And do people have an interest in classes that are primarily written? I have seen definitely both. People love webinars. They love live events. You can see by the attendance here that people like the live events. So this kind of stuff works well. Recorded video works excellent. The nice thing is it's easy on your time. So it makes it, you can record all of that in advance and have it out there. And then written, there's nothing wrong with that as well. I think that with written, it's a little bit harder to push value up. Or recorded content in there. So if you do have a ton of written content, I'd at least convert some of it to recordings, even if it's audio, voiceover, slides, that kind of stuff. But you can experiment with it and see what it is that your audience is looking for. Steve says, good answer, be multiple choice. Thanks, Steve. Brandon, it would be cool to have a thumbs down and thumbs up button on each section for students that sends data to course creators so they know which sections could be improved. Let's see. Let's see. So yeah, true. It would be great to have a little more feedback on your individual course items. So that's a really good one, Brandon, to have people share whether they like a lesson or they don't like a lesson. We're actually working on giving you a bunch more analytics and data. So you won't necessarily need them to give you the thumbs up and down. You'll actually just see from user viewing statistics if they're enjoying it or not and if they leave it. But the voting one is kind of interesting. We do have course reviews. So if you're not using that, you can turn on course reviews and students can actually submit reviews. I know that doesn't cover it for each individual content, but that's another good option for collecting the feedback. And I'll look into doing the thumbs up, thumbs down. That's an interesting one. Let's see. Nina asks, what options do you offer for EU VAT? Is it possible for a DIY option? My business is within EU. So depending if you're sort of do-it-yourself EU person, you might be low. I don't know if there's thresholds for EU VAT. I know here for taxes, if you're making less than say $30,000 a year, then you don't need to worry so much about VAT type taxes. We do have a VAT integration with what's the Quaderno. So we do have a Quaderno integration that allows you to track VAT in Thinkific for your Thinkific courses as well. Let's see, and there is a blog post about the Quaderno one. So if you check out the blog and search for Quaderno, that's Quaderno. Yeah, or just search VAT in the blog, Quaderno. That's almost as good as Thinkific, right? What are the hottest new features you have planned? Well, I see Treb saying plus 100 for Whistler. Nice, thanks. Hottest new features we have planned. Let's see. A lot of stuff around, we're looking into some things around more student engagement and getting students engaged more with the instructors and with each other and building more of a community in there. Lots of other fun stuff. Lots of actually just taking what we have and and making things better. We spent the first few years here at Thinkific building the sort of checklist that everybody must have in their online course engine. We're past that now, and now we are adding a lot of features, but we're also focusing on making what we have much, much better, making it easier for you to use and a better student experience. So we do have the changelog. So that's another good way to kind of stay on top of things, and the blog. The changelog inside your account is the little change thing at the top right, and you click on that, and it'll actually show you all the latest features and updates as they come out as well. Treb plus 100 for Whistler. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Whistler would be good. We should get something going. Let's see. Do you integrate with Constant Contact? We do, but through Zapier. So through Zapier, you can do a Constant Contact integration, and that you can see Zapier in our integration section, and that'll connect up with your Constant Contact for emailing. I just tuned in, and this may have been covered, but what is the product roadmap for 2016? That's a big question. Maybe we can do something later where we share a little bit more about a product roadmap. But I just kind of mentioned it briefly there in terms of building more engagement around students, and also just taking everything we have and making it that much easier for you to use and better experience for your students. Plus, lots of little new additions. But don't have anything immediate that I can sort of share as the big all that we're going to do in 2016 for you. But maybe we can work towards having some more stuff to share with you on an ongoing basis as well. But the changelog as well covers things as they come out, and as does the blog. JD says, one of my biggest concerns about selecting a platform, so I guess you're still evaluating us, that's good, is company stability. Can you tell us a little about your current reach, number of publishers, course, bank backing, future plans? By the way, I noticed that your domain expires at the end of this month. Wait, our domain is set to auto renew. So yes, there's always an expiration date coming up for every domain. It might be a month away, a week away, a day away, a year away, but it's set up to auto renew. So no worries, we're not going anywhere for the $9 it takes to renew that domain. Yeah, happy to share some information about us as a company. It's a really good question. I do hear it a lot. So just a little bit of our background. I've been in the online course space for 10 years now. I started building my own online courses 10 years ago, well, a little over, almost, I think 11 years ago now, doing online LSAT courses. I did that as I was going into law school, practiced law for a few years. And then 4 years ago, we launched Thinkific as a way to allow anyone to create their own online courses. Since then, we have worked with thousands of companies and individuals launching their own online courses. We work with huge billion-dollar companies like Hootsuite or Geovia, 3DS, companies like that with thousands of, one of which has over 10,000 employees worldwide. We work with about 15 different universities, and many of these are on long-term contracts. So in terms of our financial backing and profitability, we are definitely here to stay for the long run. So hopefully it shouldn't be a concern for you. We've definitely got things figured out. We're not going anywhere, and we're just excited about the growth and future. So happy to chat with you if you want to give me a call, JD, chat with you a little bit more about that to make sure you have no concerns, but you shouldn't in terms of going anywhere. And don't worry, the domain auto renew. Craig, in a student's profile, does it track their progress on specific courses, specific certifications they have received? Yes. So we do track specific progress through specific courses and certifications for each student. So you can see that in the reporting area. You can also connect up analytics platforms like Panel to track it in depth. But just even our basic reporting that comes with it tracks cohort reporting across each different course. It tracks completion. It tracks progress through the course. So you get all of that data as well. You can even download it or view it in HTML. So basically, if you're looking for an easy place for students to monitor their progress on many courses. Oh, and if you're looking for a way for the students to monitor it, then they can see that actually built into each course. They can see the percentage complete as they go through the course. It's actually quite well gamified in a way that really increases completion rates over what I've seen in a lot of other platforms. And if you wanted to build in more, if you check out education.hootsuite.com, with a quick change of things, they've actually brought the completion right into the course cards. So it shows completion live in the course cards right on the dashboard for all the students, which is another way to look at it as well. And that's on education.hootsuite.com. Let's see, Steve asks, any update on shopping cart feature? We have a course that has an initial cost plus a cost per student, so we need a shopping cart. I'm a bit confused on that one. So I mean, we do have a built-in e-commerce system that allows you to charge a price per student. If you have an initial cost plus a cost per student, I'm not sure I'm totally getting what the use case is there. Drop in another question, maybe clarify, and I can try and answer it for you. Or you can shoot us a note. The other thing is you can potentially sell outside of Thinkific and then just integrate with us. So you could sell through Infusionsoft or any other shopping cart system and then just link into Thinkific to do the registration. So that's another way to go as well. Let's see, Stephen, are there any plans, to create a library of themes to supplement the default theme? So there already are a few extra ones in there, but yeah, definitely that's something we're working on, is to have more pretty themes for you guys to make it a lot easier for you to style your site in lots of different ways. Thanks, Steve. I see Steve saying he enjoyed my my answer on the company background. I appreciate it. Yeah, we've been around for a while and we love what we're doing, and we're here to stay and here to do the best job for you guys. Thanks, Steve. See, JD, when a student retrieves a copy of their certificate, perhaps months after completion, is date on cert generated at completion of when certificate completion or when certificate is retrieved? It's generated. So yeah, he said, believe it or not, I've seen apps where it's generated on retrieval date. No, we actually generate the certificate when they complete the course. That's auto-generated that time, and then so whenever they go back to get it, that's when their date is on their certificate. So using certificates or new versions of a course, then they would have an older dated certificate. Robert, enjoyed the event. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Wow, there we go. We've got through a very large number of questions. I see there was, let's see. Oh, I see someone saying, please spell the name of Steve or his website. That was Steve Dotto. Oh, I think someone spelled that out, D-O-T-T-O. And wow, still lots of people here. That's great. Happy to continue answering questions as they come up. Let's see, Steve. Shopping cart, we're selling to corporations and we charge per location. Then we charge per student. For example, $1,000 for a location plus $100 per student. So a couple of ways you could do it. One, you could charge in a system other than Thinkific and then register them either automatically or manually in Thinkific. That's one way. You could sell just the student stuff in Thinkific and then charge them $1,000 external for setting up of each location. Or you could create a separate course. That's a bit of a workaround, but you could create a separate course that's just location setup. And so they would purchase their $1,000 course for a location setup that would have some instructions on setting that up or how you're going to do it for them, sell that product, and then link them over to purchase the student bundles as well. So there's definitely a few ways to do that. Yeah. See, Fran, Q&A, very helpful today. Thank you. Thanks, Fran. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming. Glad I was able to help. So Janet, Janet Wall, can you go over a re-enrollment option again? Part of my course includes an online group meeting for 8 sessions, but what if someone wants to continue? Should I do this on my own website rather than through Thinkific? So I'm guessing, so you've got an online course, you've got 8 sessions, and then it ends, but maybe you want someone to continue to have access. So I'm still not 100% clear on the use case, but let's say you've got 8 sessions, you're giving it, and then it expires and you kick them out. I think at that point they could come back and just repurchase for another 8 weeks or 8 months of access if that's what you'd want. Alternatively, you could duplicate the course and sell it again somewhere else or give someone access to it again at long term. You could also have 2 ways of accessing the course. You could say this course is available on a sort of forever access or an 8-week access, something like that. If you've got a specific use case, maybe shoot us a note and I will I'll see if we can help you out with how to set that up exactly. But there should be a way to solve that problem for you. See, Roderick says, on the course completion page, where do I see this page? I see the option, no way to view. Maybe shoot us. I'm not actually sure the exact answer to that. You can customize your completion page, and so you can build a custom completion page that way. Okay, so Miranda's saying if you want to actually preview the completion page, the best way to do that is to go in and just quickly complete the course yourself, and then it'll pop as a previewing it as a student, and it'll show you that completion page live as it would look as the actual student completing it. M. King, thanks. Thanks for caring about your community. Quashed many of my concerns for the former lawyer in you. Yeah, technically I'm still a lawyer actually, but I don't practice anymore. So thanks, appreciate it. Thanks, Janet. Thanks for coming. Jerry, if your product's as good as your presentation, I'm sold. Awesome. I hope it lives up to it. If it doesn't, let us know. We do like to fix it. I personally think the product, which is not built by me, it's built by other people here, is much better than my presentation. So hopefully you enjoy it. How do you duplicate a course? Shoot us a note. We'll show you how to duplicate it. Right now, we manage the duplication. We're looking at giving you ways to do it. But just to make sure everything goes super smoothly, we do the duplication for you. So you just shoot us a note, customers@Thinkific, and we'll do the duplication for you. Roderick, upgraded to business plan. I'm using PayPal for payments. However, when I click on the monthly plan or payments, is asking me to upgrade. Yeah, so if you're doing, you have to connect your Stripe account if you want to collect the month payments through Thinkific. We don't do PayPal for that. It doesn't work as well for us. So connect Stripe account in the integrations tab, and then we can turn on the monthly plan and payments. And you should get a note as soon as you upgrade letting you know that. So if you missed it, or if we haven't sent it to you, I'll make sure we get that out to you as well. Let's see, can you post a link for the alternate custom themes? Okay. So I think maybe when I was talking about different themes, there's different landing pages. So if you have themes on, you go and design your course landing page. You can pick from high converting, curriculum, or custom. If you go into custom, then you can select from the drop down, and there's a couple of extra ones in there, and the rest are coming soon. And I'll definitely post links as soon as we get those going. Let's see, Craig, since we have a membership style portal, we run both live and asynchronous events classes. How would it work to add webinar recordings and such into our training platform since they are not technically courses? Would that need to be customized? If you're going to do webinar live events, I would actually suggest using exactly what I'm using now. Just use Zoom. And so you can actually drop Zoom in multimedia item. So you go into your Thinkific course, create a multimedia item, drop the link to your Zoom, and it will launch from there for people. It's probably the easiest way to do the live event. When you do the live event, record it. You can see we're recording right here. So you can record that live event, and then you can actually drop that back into your course when you're done so people can watch it on demand afterwards. See Thomas saying, sorry, I'm a little late to the show, so not sure if this is a question that has been asked. I don't want to sell my courses individually, but rather through a site-wide subscription. I know I can do this, but how do I get rid of the price tag fee or the free on the individual course cards? Yes, okay, so we can help you with this. There's a few ways to do it. I think we have an example site that's done this quite well. So there's a couple of little tweaks we can do for you to make sure that that works perfectly, so you can do that whole site-wide subscription. I think the easy thing actually is even just hopping into themes on the course card and just removing the pricing area. But just so I don't break things, because I'm not always the expert on editing the themes here, shoot us a note, customers@Thinkific. We can help you out with that. But you could also just try hopping into themes and deleting the pricing section from your course card to get rid of that. Thanks, Kyle. Lillian, this is great. I feel more confident about launching my online course. Excellent. If I made one person feel more confident about launching, that's awesome. I totally love to see that. I was not confident about launching my online course. I had a bet with my brother as to whether it would sell anything. I thought it did. He didn't. That was 10 years ago, of course. We just put it up there as a trial. We built a really mini course, much smaller than I really wanted to. And we sold 10 copies in the first month. So that was pretty. So I suggest just get it out there, do what you can, start promoting it, and then you can always improve on it afterwards. Let's see, can you cover video document security, download protection, etc.? Speaking video, is it true streaming? Okay, so video document security, download protection first. I actually did a good post about this recently in the Facebook group and a video. So the video is on our YouTube channel, so YouTube Thinkific. Actually, I'm not sure if it's been posted yet. We recorded it last week, but I'll make sure that goes out. I'll share it in the Facebook group. It's on the, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, then you'll get it. We do a daily video really quick. And I talked recently about video and document security. So the short answer is nothing you put online can be completely protected, no matter what. People who tell you otherwise, probably wrong. I would love to be able to tell you that, but I've spent the last 10 years offering a course where I actually have legal requirements to law services to protect the licensed content. And so they impose some very strict requirements on software, and it's still not 100%. Even Sony Pictures can't protect their videos. So we do our best to protect your stuff, but we don't go so far as to use digital rights management software. What I find is when you go too far on the software side to protect content, it actually destroys or degrades the user experience because it makes it more and more difficult to access the content, where people have to download and install things before they can view it. And you spend a lot of time dealing with the Q&A around that and customer support. And I've had to issue refunds because it's too frustrating for people to do that. So the advice that I have, I put in a post in Facebook, and it's in a video in our YouTube channel, is a few different things. One is cut your content up into small bite-sized pieces. Makes it a lot harder for people to download and share. Put in some engaging things like quizzes or surveys, which also makes it a bit more personalized. If you're borrowing a course or getting a course that's just some downloads and it doesn't have those pieces in it, it doesn't feel as good, and you're more likely to go and pick up the real thing and even pay for it. You can, if you want, you can watermark your videos to get a little more security that way, or a little more protection in that if someone sees it, they know where it came from and they're less likely to copy it. And then the other thing is building in gamification, and this is something we do automatically with our courses, is it tracks people's completion and progress through courses, so that that actually gives it a little bit more of a feel like it's your course and you don't want to share it. And if you do share it, then they don't feel like they've gotten the true experience that way. So it's not perfect download protection, but you'll never really get there exactly. There is definitely more stuff you can do. I have occasionally seen people go and get some serious DRM software, install it, and deliver the videos through that in Thinkific. But again, the further you go that direction, the more you're degrading the end user experience. So unless it's highly sensitive stuff that you can't let out, and you have some very strong reasons for that, I wouldn't go too far down that road. If we just use the default theme and there's an update, will it be magically installed for us? Anything we do with themes, when we do updates, we do versioning on the themes. You'll see it in the change logs. It'll show you how to do the update. When we do a new theme or new changes to the themes, if you create a new theme, then you get all of the benefits in it. We don't generally change your existing themes unless it's a small tweak, because we don't want to mess them up for you. But you will get new stuff as release it. If you go create a new theme, it'll show the latest version, and you'll see all that stuff in the change log. So if you click on changes, you can see the latest updates there. But the other thing we can do actually is we'll probably be putting them on the blog and mailing them out, and then you can actually download them and just upload them into your site to install them that way. Who do you have we can hire to do theme modifications? Good question, Roderick. If you want someone to dive in and do a bunch of HTML and CSS on your site, we've got some good recommendations for you. louderthan10.com is a good one. I think julieharrisdesign.com is another one. Shoot us a note. We can probably recommend a few more for you. I think Jonathan Levy at becomeasuperlearner.com is maybe looking at referring some people to his designer who did a great design on his site. So lots of good options for you there. And we're looking at putting together more too. How can we have terms of service pop up the first time they log in saying they agree to, and then have to check the box to agree before getting into the course? Great question, Steve, especially coming as a lawyer. I respect that. It's built in for you. So just go into advanced settings, click on terms of use, and you can edit your terms of use, put in your own terms of use. If you're looking for a sample legal document, I shared one a while ago in the Facebook group, but you can go to my site, alphascore.com. That's ALPHA score, like hockey score, alphascore.com. And if you check out the terms of use there, or go to pretend to sign up for a free trial course or something like that, there'll be a terms of use and privacy policy. Feel free to steal them. You might want to edit them a little bit. Those are mine, and you're welcome to use them. Although I'm not giving you legal advice on that. That's just, you can take it, but I can't claim to be your lawyer on that. Craig says, terrific Q&A, Greg. I've run my training company for 8 years on a different platform, but I think you sold me to make the big switch over. Awesome, Craig. Really appreciate it. That's great. I hope we can help you out in any way as you move forward. That's wonderful. And I'm glad to be of help here. Let's see, Stephen, it would be great if there was a Git repo private for the theme updates to be able to easily pull in changes. Interesting. So we push them in. I don't know exactly how the pull Git repo would work, but I'll maybe if that's something that Shopify does, we can look into something like that or how they're doing it. But we do the change updates live in the app, and then we make it so that as soon as you create a new theme, all of the updates are pulled in automatically for you. Plus, if you go into the changelog, it shows you how to transition over. But if you want to do it with an existing theme, if you just create a new theme, you get everything new automatically. So, but I'll mention this to the dev side because I'm not as familiar with this kind of stuff. I know just enough to be dangerous on the development side, so they don't really let me touch the code. Great. I'm at the list of live questions there. Let's see. I see Tony. I see someone else asking. Any of your members teach digital social media courses? Could you name any? Yeah, one good one's Hootsuite. So you can check out education.hootsuite.com. That's got some good social media courses. Lots of other really good ones. I think Market Campus is one. Launch Academy, a number of others like that. Let's see. I see. Okay, the hassle for the patch. Okay, Stephen. Yeah, so I'll mention that to the dev side and see if there's something that we can do for you there too. But if you shoot us a note about that, just to remind me, then we can pass it on to them and we can keep that in mind and try and set something up to make it better. Themes is something that's really evolving for us, and we're trying to do our best job right now of advancing it in a way that's going to make it easy for you to build with in the long run as well. I see Marty saying, I'm offering a course that includes video interview practice. My concern is tracking all the emails. I'm looking at Podio, but give me insight about your system. So you've got video interview practice. Sorry, Marty, I don't know exactly what the concern is there. You want to track all the emails. Looking at Podio. I don't know if Podio would track the emails for you. If you're doing a lot of back and forth with your customers, I mean, you can try something like Intercom. I've tried a lot of it just through my Gmail inbox with my personal course, but you could definitely go another level from that. For the video interviews, though, actually, I mean, are you doing a one-on-one interview with them? One thing you could do is actually you can post videos into our discussion item. So you could have students posting videos right into the discussion group in the course, and then you can manage it there and respond to it that way. I see Oriole saying, should we be able to see image or only voice? Definitely you should be able to see image. It might just be your bandwidth not seeing the image there. But we are recording it. We're going to post it in the Facebook group so you can access this later. Looks like I've covered all the questions that have been asked in here. Let's see, any marketing ideas for selling courses? Yeah, tons. Yeah, blog's the best place to go for that. Definitely share lots of ideas. I'll share a couple highlights here. I talked about Quora earlier as an easy one. I love YouTube personally. It's done wonders for me. Another interesting one, and I was reminded of this, is by the people over at Miracy, and that's Danny Inney. He's the guy who has that book, Teach and Grow Rich. They were talking recently about tool building. It's a bit more work, but I built a tool about 8-9 years ago with my online course, and it did exceptionally well. Drives about 10,000 visitors a month, and a lot of those convert into online course sales. So that's another kind of unique way of doing your course marketing. You can get into the paid side of things, but I generally suggest people starting on the free side and making sure you're seeing real traffic on the free side and conversions before you get into any kind of paid testing. But definitely check out the blog for a ton of marketing stuff. And then Teach Online TV, that's on YouTube. Maybe we can share the link in the chat room there. But we have tons of videos there for marketing ideas as well. Getting back to an earlier topic, also interested in a better forum integration. Is it possible to embed PHP BB? I haven't seen PHP BB in a while. Miranda says you can embed it with multimedia item. So that's interesting. Didn't know that. Very cool. Apparently, yeah, you can embed that in a multimedia item. You could also just link over to it if you have an independent site set up for it as well. ConvertKit integration, yes. I actually was just talking to Nathan at ConvertKit last week, and we should have the integration hopefully finished up this week, but my devs will kill me for saying that, so we'll call it 2 weeks from now. Yeah, definitely working on that ConvertKit integration. It's a great product, and we're looking forward to getting that out there quickly for you. I see Steve saying, awesome webinar. Thanks to me and the Thinkific team. Yes, they're a pretty awesome team here. We definitely, there's lots of help around that you can't see here. So thanks to Andrea and Miranda for helping out so much on this and getting this up and going. Let's see. Oh, JD mentioning relevant forums are a great place to market, but you have to be gentle about it. Yeah, I've had good and bad experiences marketing in public forums. So public forum, for those who don't know, if you go into a forum, so for example, my course was about the LSAT, or the law school admissions test. And I would go into the law school forums where people were talking about getting into law school, being in law school, taking the LSAT. And I would kind of promote my course. And initially I was a bit of a rookie at it. And I just said, hey, buy my course. And of course, then they kick you out of the forum and yell at you. So the key for any kind of public forum, whether it's even just hopping into YouTube or Reddit is really bad for this. You want to add value. You can't be spammy. You got to go in and add value and contribute to the community. And then you can kind of mention your product or your course. Reddit, I don't think you can mention it at all. You need to get other people to post it, and then you can vote it up or talk, or don't even talk about it. Just get in and add value. Get other people to post your stuff in Reddit. But forums in general, you want to add a lot of value, and then especially as well, read the rules of the community and find out what they appreciate and what they don't, because you can get booted pretty quickly from some of these places. I see Brugger, I'm a little late to the party, so I don't know if this has been asked. I've seen that a couple times today. Completely new to the whole build a course experience, and practically, I'm wondering if there's a golden ratio to video and article content. Should I include everything in the video, use it more as an overview, or are there any videos that could be helpful to me? Thank you. That's a really good question, and I think there's no magic ratio. It kind of depends on the course content and that kind of thing. What I would suggest, if you have a lot of textual content, start with just a few videos introducing the different sections, put the rest of the textual content in, because you probably have a lot of that written already, and then get feedback from people. Run a pilot course and start asking people what they think about the ratio of video to text, if they're reading the text, if they're getting good value out of it. And then over time, you can start to add the video to it. Video takes longer to produce, so if you get that text in with just a few intro videos and then you start to replace it with video as you go forward, you can get up and running faster, get more feedback, and see what the response is, and if people care that you're adding more video. So it's a starting point. It's not a perfect answer, I know, but it's a starting point for you for getting that out there. See, Steve, what do you recommend using for customer support and or technical support and or contacting the author support? So the easy one is email. That comes kind of built in with Thinkific automatically, where you put your support email and people message you there. If that becomes at all overwhelming, there's some good platforms out there. We use Intercom is one, which is really good for sort of live built-in Q&A back and forth. I think if you check out education.hootsuite.com, they're using Thinkific, and they have Intercom set up to chat with students for support. So that's one that you can set up that we can integrate with. Other ones like Freshdesk, Zendesk potentially work for it as well. But most of the support platforms you can probably tack on or add on in a different way. I see Roderick asking, can you explain these from the business plan? Host, Storyline, Captivate, and more. What is this? So Storyline and Captivate are tools that your instructional designers will be familiar with. They're basically ways of animating your PowerPoints. Generally, they cost about $1,200. And if you're not already using it, I wouldn't suggest you go that route. It's just, if you know the words and you're using them, we can host it for you. If you're not using Storyline or Captivate, I wouldn't worry about it. You can always investigate it, but they're expensive products. They take a while to learn, and they take your PowerPoint and allow you to animate it and build lessons around it. The 1 hour onboarding package and priority support. So the 1 hour onboarding package just means that we are we take an hour with you personally to get you set up and running and answer your questions and any questions you have personally in a time slot. Often we'll split that up into 2 half-hour sessions to get you up and running. So it just makes things easier to get off the ground for you. And then priority support just means that we kind of bump you to the top of the queue. I don't know if that's a secret that I'm supposed to let out, but we bump you to the top of the queue when your questions are coming in if you're on the business plan or above. Let's see, Steve, is it possible to have Thinkific on multiple subdomains? So I guess if you have yoursite.com, would you want to have it at maybe courses.yoursite.com and learn.yoursite.com or something? Could you do that with the same instance? Yeah. So you could, I guess, and then one of them would be the primary one, but you could have a secondary one. You could also potentially have multiple instances of Thinkific. I've seen people do that where they have yoursite.com and then they'll have instructorcourses.yoursite.com and studentcourses.yoursite.com, or motorcyclecourses.yoursite.com and carcourses.yoursite.com. So you could do that kind of stuff as well and have multiple instances, or you could have the same instance or site of Thinkific at multiple subdomains. We are late for a call. So I love, this was amazing, and we're going to have to do it again sometime soon. But we've already half an hour over time. So we'll post the recording of this. If you have more questions, hop in the Facebook group, and this has been awesome. So I think we'll do it again frequently. Thanks so much, everyone. I hope I was able to be helpful for you. And thanks, JD. Appreciate your questions and your time. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I hang out in the Facebook group lots, so feel free to ask questions there. Our customer support team here is amazing. So reach out to us if you have questions, and we'll hop in and try and do this again as well. Thanks.